Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So recently we have been talking about drugstore products here on this channel, and I think we're going to finish up this series with a couple of stragglers that we have here that we have yet to talk about. So if you're interested in hearing about some more affordable products, then you're in the right place. We are about to get into it.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
Alright guys, so man, drugstore. It has been crazy in the drugstore space with product in 2019. So we are going to wrap this series up with some of the additional drugstore products that I haven't talked to you guys about yet. We have everything here from complexion to makeup wipes to powder to full palettes, mascara. So sit down, grab a snack, and let's get into it. So first I'm going to start with a couple of products from Wet n Wild. Now Wet n Wild has recently come out with this whole workout sporty theme kind of thing going, and I grabbed a couple of items just because I wanted to try some things out and see how they worked, and some things were hits and some things were horrible misses. Let's talk about one of the things that I actually liked first, and that is the makeup wipes, and these are the Wet n Wild Hit the Showers Face and Body Cleansing wipes. Now, I don't necessarily like these for removing makeup, although they work okay for removing makeup. Not my favorite, but they work okay. This is not something that I would recommend that you do every single day because these do include alcohol in them, so that is going to be very drying on the skin. However, if you are at the gym and you just want to use them for like your gym days and just to wipe off really quick when you get out and get rid of all of those traces of sweat and oil on your face, this would be really good for that. Or like me, if you're staying in for the day and you want to just hang out in the morning and you're not ready to dive straight into a shower, this is really good just to wake yourself up with first thing in the morning. I just wouldn't use it on the daily, but for those reasons, I definitely would. So I think that they actually have some value, and that cooling feeling that they have is very refreshing. So these were actually pretty cool. Next from Wet n Wild is a product called Partner Up. Now these are basically a direct ripoff of the CoverFX Click Sticks. Now for those of you that don't know, CoverFX came out with these called Click Sticks, and it's basically, this is a baton that you can get from CoverFX that's empty, and then CoverFX sells these little tiny click sticks, and they are correctors, they're foundations, they're concealers, they are highlighters, blushes, all kinds of different products that you can get in these little tiny stick versions. Now for me, CoverFX has some of the best concealers and under eye brighteners and correctors in the game. So I use my click stick for correctors. I have two peach correctors and I just stick them in my click stick, and I have both of them anywhere that I want to go. And it's just a simple push from one end to the other and it pops them out. And that's how click sticks work. Well, Wet n Wild decided to do their own play on that, and it's called the Partner Up connector, and it's just this little tube that comes like this. Now unlike the click stick, this is basically just a holder. You can't really pop them in and out because it's not see-through, right? So it's just basically a holder for the little products. Now Wet n Wild has a bazillion of these, everything from toners to moisturizers to primers, lip balms, blushers, anything that you can think of, they have crammed into one of these little units. Now I decided to get the moisturizer. This is a cooling moisture stick, and then I decided to get a blush stick. So I got each of these, and then they just click into the end of the Partner Up stick and looks like this. Now, the idea behind this is that this is great for like girls on the go. Throw it in your gym bag, and you've got a little component here that holds like a hydration stick and your blush, for me, in my case. Ideally, you could have 4 or 5 of these little sticks and have quite a significant amount of your face and makeup routine in these little Partner Up sticks. So I thought the idea was actually really cute. I'll give you guys a close-up of them here. So first you have the connector. This retails for $1.99, and the connector is basically a customizable makeup stick that lets you pick what is right for you. And then of course you come with 2 different Partner Up sticks to kind of complete the unit overall. Now, again, the 2 sticks that I chose are the Cooling Moisture Stick, which is just a moisture stick that's supposed to be very hydrating and is cooling to the touch. And then the other one that I chose was a blush stick. And this is just supposed to be a cream blush that you would apply to the skin and then just pat it out, and you would have your blusher. So I picked the blush called I'm Glistening, and that is the blush stick. So that is the component all together. Each of these is $3.99 a piece, so basically like $4 each, and then the connector stick is like $2. So overall, the entire component would be $10 for the whole thing. Now, one of the reasons that I got the cooling side of this stick, the little cooling moisture stick, is because this is not only infused with hydrating ingredients, but it also has caffeine in this in addition to cucumbers. So this moisture stick is great for under eye prep, and I really do like it for that. And it was one of the reasons why I was attracted to it, because I would love to just be able to do this underneath the eye prior to going in with a concealer and get a good little quick instant hydrator underneath my eye, and it works really good for that. So I actually really do love the moisture end of my choices here for the Partner Up baton. Now, the blush, on the other hand, is a little bit different for me. I like a good cream blush. The problem with this one is it's very dimethicone heavy and it's very oily. So while I do like the way it looks and it does blend in pretty, it doesn't play well with other products. So it doesn't play well with my foundation. It tended to rub my foundation off in areas that I applied it. I think this is meant more for like if you're leaving the gym and you don't have anything on your face, like no foundation, no anything on your face, and you just want to add a little color to your cheeks and run out of the gym, that would be perfect for this particular product. But as a cream blush to be applied with other products on the face, it just doesn't play nice with others. So for me, the blusher end was a fail, but the cooling end was actually something that I really liked. Altogether, they have lip balms, they have the blush stick, they have a blemish stick that is supposed to help with blemishes. They also have a primer stick, which is like a pore filling type of stick primer. Then they also have a mattifying stick, which is supposed to be like a mattifying primer. Then they have the cooling moisture stick, and then they also have the toning stick, which is supposed to be like a toner for your face. And that's all of the different options that they have. All together, you could come up with 169 different types of combinations just between all of those choices and different combos on your particular stick. So it is incredibly customizable, but I can only speak to these 2, and the blush I didn't like, but I do like the hydration one. I think it's neat, and I'll keep it just for that. Simple, easy, right here on my vanity. I can do some quick under eye hydration right before I go in with my concealer, and it works like a charm. The next product is something that I actually found a little shocking. Now, this is from Wet n Wild. This is called the Makeup Locker. Now, this is a 3-in-1 component, and basically what this is a BB cream. I hesitate to call it a BB cream, but they call it a BB cream, and then it also has a corrector and a highlighter on here as well. So again, keeping with that whole theme of you're at the gym, you just want to put something on your face and just run out the door. That's going to be really quick, really easy. Now, What I found with this BB cream is that it's basically like a complexion perfector. So it's not a foundation. Don't go into this thinking that you're getting a foundation with any coverage at all. It's not going to give you any coverage. What it does is it kind of evens out your skin tone just a little bit, and it helps with some of those slight imperfections that you have. So it would be like putting on a nice tone correcting primer and going out with maybe just a little bit of help. Other than that, you're not going to get like a lot of coverage out of this, but I will say for a BB cream, it's not bad, you guys. It's really not bad. Another thing that I found that wasn't bad that I actually liked a little bit was the corrector for dark circles. I've actually used this corrector and it does a good job of canceling out under eye circles. And the highlighter is a beautiful cream highlighter. But let me give you guys a close-up look of this component before we get into application. So you just twist off this big lid and there's a paddle underneath here that has all of the product in here, which for me is just so messy and makes this very gloopy. But I mean, whatever, it is what it is. I'm just not a fan of that component. And then when you flip the lid up, you actually have a little mirror, and then you can see the corrector and the highlighter in each individual pan as well. Another thing that I'm not a fan of is how close these two are to each other, because I have found that I can mix these up pretty easily by when I'm using my finger, and that's not a good thing, because then you end up with highlighter underneath your eyes where you're trying to correct your dark circles, and that can just be a disaster. So I am not a fan of this component. I feel like they could have done better with some other idea on this component. I think that the top here is just a mess because these two have the potential to really get into each other, and this is just so messy and gloopy and just really has the potential to kind of get everywhere and make a mess of everything. So not a fan of the component, but the actual stuff inside, let's get into the application here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So the way that I apply this is just as it says. So like before I'm running out to the grocery store or somewhere where I don't necessarily want to put a full cake on, but I do maybe want to get just a little bit of coverage and just to look a little pretty and glowing right before I walk out the door. That's what this does for you. So I put it on like a face lotion and just rub it into the skin, and I actually like the little glow and kind of the subtle corrections that it makes on the skin. You just have to keep your expectations very realistic with this product. And then you can go in with the corrector, and if you just go in and pat it on your dark circles, it does a really good job of canceling out your dark circles. And then, of course, you can just warm up. And both of these cream products in the lid, you want to warm them up a little bit with your finger before you actually apply, because like any other cream product that's in a pot, you really want to warm the product up and get it nice and emollient before you apply it, and then it will play a lot better for you. So I warm the corrector up, and then I go in and I warm the highlighter up as well, and then you just pat a little bit of highlighter on the cheeks and you get a little bit of a glow. And it's just a very quick and easy way to just do like a semi beautification on the face and then run out the door. I think this would be a great little product for like students that are like in a dorm room and they wake up late in the morning and you don't have a lot of time to do stuff to your face, so you can just whip this little thing out and hit the high points and run out to the door to class. Moms that don't have time in the morning when you're getting your kids ready for school, but you want to just look a little presentable before you walk into the school with your kids. I mean, this is like an on-the-go, grab it and just do like a very natural beautification to the skin. I like the concept, and I don't think that the products are bad. I think they were actually well executed. I hate the component, but I love the products inside the component, and I think it's a really cute idea. Now this comes in 6 different shade combinations. I think the reason it's only 6 is because BB creams are very forgiving, because it's not like a full coverage foundation at all. It's not even a light coverage foundation. And this particular one is the light to medium. So this is the light to medium combination, and then the corrector and the highlighter are basically corresponding shades to whatever BB cream shade it is that you choose. So they have like fair, light to medium, medium, and then it's like tan and dark and deep dark. So there's only like 6 of them, but that's pretty standard when it comes to a BB cream. Now this whole component is only retailing for $8.99, and you get a full fluid ounce of the BB cream in here as well. So it's fairly inexpensive. You get 3 products in one, and overall this was surprising to me. I actually kind of like this one. Alright guys, next up is a powder that I really hated, and that is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Setting Powder. And I got the color Banana because, again, I wanted a brightening powder. It didn't look too yellow when I looked at it through here. However, it is so yellow, you guys. Oh, it's really bad. Not only that, but the powder is so chunky. It is a very chunky powder, and it's one of those powders that definitely goops up underneath the eye. It gets really super cakey. This is not a good powder. Let's get a close-up of it here so you guys can actually see the component and look at the product. So again, it is a nice component though. I mean, I love this stopper and the idea that it's going to keep your product from really kind of fluffing around. But this powder is so chunky, you guys. It's just very chunky, almost like it's wet chunky. Not only that, but it also has this kind of sheen to it. So it looks like you have... It looks like they tried to make it a glowy powder at the same time, you know, it being a matte powder that helps control oil. And I really think they missed the mark when it comes to the glowiness of it. It just has this very unnatural kind of sheen to it. I don't know. This is a very funky powder that just doesn't sit right on the face. It's not the right consistency. I don't know what they were thinking with this formula. They just really missed the mark with this one. This product is not a talc-based formula, and it's not a silica-based formula, and typically powders are usually one or the other. This main ingredient is actually something that I'm going to put over here on the screen. It's called aluminum starch octanolyl succinate. I can't really say it, but that is the #1 ingredient in this powder, and this powder doesn't include talc or silica, so it's pretty much this. Now, anything that I found concerning this particular ingredient basically states that it's an anti-caking ingredient, that they add this aluminum starch to foundations, they add it to different products to keep it from, you know, caking and kind of gathering up on your skin. And they've made an entire powder out of aluminum starch, and I think that's why a lot of people in the reviews are saying it's just this weird kind of consistency. But what I find ironic about this is that making a product solely of aluminum starch really does give it kind of a cakey feel on the face. And I don't know if it's because it's not been, like, you know, mixed with the foundation, so you have that whole anti-caking property mixed into a different formula. I don't know if it's because it's solely aluminum starch and it's not mixed in with like talc or silica or other fillers that's making it a little cakey on the skin. I'm not sure, but this is a strange one, you guys. I don't know how I feel about aluminum starch being on my face. I did do a deep dive into this ingredient, and it has been deemed acceptable by the Cosmetic Institute. So this is, I'll read you what it says. The CIR expert panel, which is basically the Cosmetic Ingredient Review Board. So the CIR panel has assessed that this ingredient is safe to use in cosmetic products, provided that the already established limitations on certain heavy metal concentrations are not exceeded. So it says, although aluminum is considered a neurotoxic, studies have revealed no evidence of toxicity in aluminum starch. So I don't know, guys. This is a really weird one. I've never seen a powder so far, anyway, that is aluminum starch. It was made in Taiwan, so I don't know. It's just a weird one. I don't like it, though. I don't like the consistency of it. I don't like the way it looks on the face. I don't like the way it performs. This one is a pass for me. All right, guys, next up is a hit for me, and I'll go by this one really quick. It is the L'Oreal Mascara, and this is the Unlimited Mascara. Now, one of the main reasons why I really like this mascara is because of the applicator. It has the ability to bend so that you can do this, and when you're actually working on someone else, a bend in the wand is beautiful. I love the blackness of this product, so the blackest black I think is very rich. It's beautiful. I like the formula itself. It's definitely no Lash Paradise formula. I like this formula more for lengthening and separation, but it definitely doesn't have the volumizing that Lash Paradise does, but it's a different mascara, so it's a different effect. I do love this effect, though. I think it's a beautiful mascara. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, it doesn't end up a mess all over your face. I'll give you guys a close-up of the wand here so you can see the type of wand that it is. So it is a very spiky wand, but I think that's why it does such a good job at separation. It really does a great job at separating your lashes and giving you that kind of very wispy, individualized, lengthening look to your lashes. I think this one is a hit, you guys. If you haven't tried this product, give this one a shot. I really like this mascara, and I think the applicator is very innovative, and I think L'Oreal did a good job with this mascara. I mean, it's no Lash Paradise, but it's definitely Erica approved. I like it. And then last but not least, we have a palette from Maybelline that was a fail for me, and that is this palette called the Matte Bar. And I was excited because it's a palette full of mattes, and there are more misses than hits in this particular palette, guys. So it looks like this. It has all of these little individual bars in here, but the pigment is really lacking here. You really do have to pack on kind of layer after layer after layer to get any of these colors in here to show. Now, this color here and these two colors here are actually true to pan, and they actually perform and blend very nicely. But these colors here, they all just kind of blend into one blah color. They don't hold their color well, and they pretty much just blend away. And this one right here is very patchy and difficult to work with. Overall, this palette was a fail. I was not a fan of this palette. I'll show you guys some swatches here. Not that it's actually going to really tell you anything, but I'll show you the swatches. And I'm sure that you'll be able to see what I mean by some of these light colors just not showing up on the eye, and they do really just blend away. I think this one had the potential to be great. You had the potential to really just knock out a great matte palette in the drugstore space, and you didn't do it, and it really disappointed me because I just absolutely love my matte shades. But again, there are a couple of exceptions, but at the end of the day, it's not worth it to get this entire palette for one or two exceptions. So for me, this one is definitely a pass. I know it might be tempting if you see it to pick it up, but I promise you, you can spend your money on a Morphe palette or any other palette that's in this price range and get a better deal. So this one might be tempting. Just pass. It's not worth it. Alright guys, so that is it for this drugstore rundown. Let me know what you guys think. Have you tried any of these products? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. I would love to get a discussion going with you guys about some of these things, especially the more innovative stuff that we talked about today. I think some of these things are actually kind of cool and different and neat. So let me know what you guys think about the overall drugstore space, branching out and doing some different things. things. I think they're trying some different things. Some of them are doing really well and some of them not so much, but they're trying. So I can definitely appreciate that for 2019. I like the way the drugstore space is heading. All right, guys, if you are new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at EricaApproved. And as always, I hope everybody is very happy and very healthy. And I will see you guys in the next video.